If you're talking about the next crew, guess who? Yes, sir. Drek, Tay, and BJ. Yes, you. Next up, represent for Dega Nation line. What the best watch do? The podcast go nationwide. I gon' bless you. They locked in. Let's break down the best ballers in the county. Name your top 10, top 25. BJ breaking down all these stats with facts who find. If you thought that you was new, but them not facts, not that you lied. They're talking about nothing but the GO18s in this conversation. If you wasn't the greatest on 18, then in this conversation, giving out honorable mentions all around Dega Nation and giving out flowers and doing some real debating. Like take heed, the best all around athlete that I ever seen. I'm the best all around rapper, others after me. I feel like Boogie Wilson when I'm running, you can't tackle me. I told them people, Dega Nation come and join the winning team. No cap, we ball around here. No cap, some dogs around here. I'm talking about Ben living legends all around here. The best we done saw around here. So welcome to Dega Nation Live.
The community efforts back up, I think we'll be a good striving city.
For sure. And I'm excited. I'm excited about the future for Talladega, man. You can see there's this wave of people really wanting to really care about the city. I can really see that, just watching and paying attention. So very excited about that. Can you speak to some of the things that you guys maybe are focusing on, or ideas that you're having as far as improving how the city looks? The roads and the entry points and whatever all those different things.
So when it comes to, even Tim can back this up, when it comes to paving the roads, they just got done with the grant. I know to pave certain amount of roads. So I'm not sure when they will vote on whether they may come around again to where they will start implementing some more budget to do that. We are starting out. We do have a grant now, as you can see, as some people know, you may see on news, you can see around the city. We do have our demolition project going on now where, we have these these houses that are, just sitting there in our communities that, it's run down, falling apart. We do have a grant that is allowing us people to get those houses torn down, just to help, that helps with the neighborhood look. One more about come in and say, oh, these houses ragged, oh, they tear. Once you get those down out the way, you can, start beautifying your neighborhood, start feeling good about where you come from. So those are just a few things we have now, going back to our We Love Talladega campaign. That's all that's, pointing to, we have to, before we can invite somebody to our house, we have to, better ourselves. We can't expect no one to come in, see the positive side, and we're not showing or talking about the positive things here in the city.
Sure. So, man, and speaking of some of those positive things in the city, man, that's a lot of history in Talladega, man. As you see, we got our brothers here. We're representing Divine Nine. We got Kappa Alpha Psi Alpha Phi Alpha. I'm Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Did you know that the first chapter of Omega Psi Phi fraternity in Alabama was at Talladega College? The first chapter. So they thought about, hey, we need to spread this fraternity to different states, and Alabama is represented as a state. Talladega College was the college they chose in this state for that. So Talladega is big, man. Talladega's big. We got rich history. If I'm not mistaken, now somebody correct me on this. Was that like somebody who ran with Martin Luther King or something like that came from Talladega or Talladega College? Yeah. Or was that somebody who heard from the grapevine?
Dr. King came to he had a, can remember I'm right, Tim, I should know, even though I went there. Dr. King, had a meeting with I can't think his name. They're gonna give me for that, I remember, but he had a meeting right here at Talladega College in the chapel, talking about different things that we're going through now. They were going through at that time, when it comes to campaign and things like that. I can't remember the guy's name who he came in here and met with, but going back to what you said, just about the Omegas, man, the first chapter in the state of Alpha, the Deltas as well. They all started right here, in Talladega. So that's another thing I love, man. Tell me about the history of Talladega, man. First, if I'm correct about this again, the first AACP chapter started right here at Talladega College. Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah. So a lot of great history that's tied back into this city.
Yeah.
Great history, man. That's big, man. We all love Talladega, man. We know we want to see Talladega flourish. We know you guys are working on it. We know we're getting there.
And we do also have the smart. I forgot the Smart Dot grant. That is making the city more accessible. Especially for our AIDB students and residents that we have here in the city. Have plans to ensure that they are ADA compliance as well. And we do also, we do have a 5-year road paving plan that's going to, and it's also going to help enhance our parking and recreation as well. So I had to, that just clicked in. So
go ahead, BJ, and I got a question right after you. Go ahead.
Well, he just said something. Well, I promise you, I was just going to go there. And I don't know if you got the answer to this directly, but I was going to ask, what do we have to do to get our like Beaviston and Brecon Rec? They just sitting there, abandoned like buildings, and that's where we used to hoop at coming up. So a lot of the kids are youth. They don't have nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why they out in the street. But we got 2 recreation centers that's not being used. You know what I'm saying? So what could be done? I don't know if you got the answer, but I'm just curious, like why are they not open to the public?
Gotcha. Well, all I'm gonna comment is on when it comes to Brecon, I'm gonna comment on certain things I would not make a comment on, just for the sake of city.
For sure.
Brecon Rec Center is not owned by the city anymore. That has been sold. I don't want to bring up that moment again, but that's what that. When it comes to Beaviston, we know the stand that Beaviston is in, it's still utilized for games and things. But going back to city manager, we are in the process of going over there, just making it to where, of course, it needs a lot of work, but we are in the process now of making it to where how can I put this? Making it more appealing, to what it can be, just getting over there, making it look welcoming, than what it really is. So, a lot of good things that can't come on right now. But that's all I can say. It will be, best believe it, trust me, it will be utilized and will be looking better than what it is right now. Because I totally agree, they can be utilized when it comes to the Brecon, the council they voted to build that building. But like I said, that's all I will comment on that. I don't want to get back started on that. But yeah.
Understood. So on that same theme of the kids not really having much to do in the city outside of school, are there any plans or focus on like youth engagement activities in the city, specifically tiered towards our teens, man? Because our teens, we're losing a lot of our teens to the streets, violence and crime and stuff like that. Is there any focus on trying to give them something to focus on other than that?
We partner with, us as a city, that's one thing I am fortunate to do is partner with a lot of different groups. I tell people, of course, a lot of people look for everything. Just be honest, they look for everything to come direct out of City Hall. But it's going back to, being a community thing, when it comes to Talladega 7, connecting strong. I know the city school system has, the after school summer bridges program. They have the breakthrough program, which I got a chance to meet, which they say, they are looking to have more numbers in their program. So, and the Boys and Girls Club, is still active here. My fraternity, we just launched back up our Capital League program that focuses on young gentlemen in the high school grade levels. So those are a few things that we have now. As a city, one thing I like to do is to partner with those. How can I help? How can I be an asset? To your program. Those are just a few things that we have going on now. I do see in our future us getting better, getting more hands-on activities with our youth in the city. But I think a big shout out to those community organizations that we have now. There are putting the time in, the effort to make sure that our city school, that our students here in the city, can have something to do. Thank you, Dr. Lee. Yes, Breakthrough out of Birmingham is out of Birmingham, and they, Dr. Lee, quote me right, they service students that were in middle school or going into the 9th grade, 10th grade area. They give them.
I think so. Yeah.
They give them. Summer. They go to. They went to had their Zoyels. They continue their academic learning, academic activities to keep them busy. So, I would say to that, encouraging the parents to, make sure that you're aware, of what the school, is offering here in the city. They help out. There's a lot of things here that, that are, starting up, that are building off the ground, that continue, that can be an asset, to keeping our community people, our young people in our communities active. So, just have to make sure that we are aware, of those different things. So, those are just a couple names, a couple things I know that's helping with our youth here in the city.
For sure. And man, you said one thing that was big. It ain't just, you're right, it's not just the city hall. It's not just the city hall, man. A lot of this stuff starts at home. A lot of this stuff starts at home, man. Like you say, as a community, we got to be able to band together and attack this stuff, not just with the government, but outside the government as well. We got to be as a community, be able to attack this thing as one. So yeah, you're right on that. You're right on that. You mentioned something earlier. You said that you guys were getting grants to focus on accessibility and ADA. Do you mind kind of expounding on what accessibility and ADA means for some of the people who may not understand some of those acronyms?
So of course, I'm still learning everything that that falls upon that grant as well. So you have to bear with it. I'm not able to get the current spill on what they are. But it comes to those grants, going back to having cameras, making it accessible for AIDB, making it accessible for them to be able to walk from the campus to the downtown area. You're making the roads safer for them. You have the correct signage posted. You can't turn here. You have cameras being, the cameras going to be put up, new traffic lights, things like that. So all that is included into the Smart Dot grant. There are more things. I am not aware of everything else that is entailed in that grant. But once we do have, I'll be willing to share. But things in there are still in the process of being, implemented and to be put in place. So once we get those, I think we are getting close to having everything ready to start making those changes, making those adjustments. Thank you, Sierra. Smart Dot grant that will place navigator push buttons to allow deaf and blind to be able to cross ways, walk. So it's going to be more accessible for them to benefit from in the city.
Sure. Can I add to that? ADA is Americans with Disability Act. It was passed by Congress in 1990. And to be quite honest, I spent a whole lot of time at AIDB with Dr. Massey when he was there. City Manager Hill and I put on the blinding goggles, and we had the walking canes, and we walked from AIDB to the square. And I'm telling you, that's probably one of the most scary experiences that I've ever had, because hearing those cars passing by you, you don't know if they're in the right lane, if they're in the wrong lane. There were pieces of the sidewalk that were broken. When we got closer to downtown, to the square area, when you're walking on the sidewalk and you see they're like raised dots, they're yellow, they're usually painted yellow. Yeah. Those are called truncated domes. And when a person that is blind or has trouble seeing walks, and they have their cane out feeling, that tells them that they're coming into a roadway. Think about that. Yeah, it was an experience for sure, but they helped me to better understand the needs that they have. And I know Mayor Hall is getting something like that set up as well. But our city is far behind in terms of being ADA compliant. Like they're like Councilwoman Smith said, there are certain technologies that need to be in place in order to serve people who are blind or have vision problems, and we just were far behind on that. And so I'm really glad to hear about that Smart Dot grant that Mayor Hall.
Sure, that's big. That's big, because when you make the community accessible, then that just further brings the community together, because you're not saying that the community is handicapping anybody, or holding anybody back, but when you do put effort to be able to bring people together, that just makes the community flow even more. So yeah, man, that's great. That's great. BJ, you had something?
Yeah, I do. I mean, you want me to jump in? You got another question on the road. I'm pretty sure this question now for Ashton, because he's still fairly new. So I'm gonna ask Tim. The same way I asked you, what's your biggest success? I'm not gonna say failure or regret, or I'm wording like, what's one thing you wish you could have done while you were in, but you maybe couldn't get it done? I'm not saying it was a failure on your end. Maybe something you want to push through, and it got, you know what I'm saying? What's one thing you like, boy, if I had to do it over again, I wish I could get that. Like, I'm just curious. Just curious.
Man, there are several instances like that. I'll since Dr. Lee talked about Breakthrough Birmingham, I'll bring up. So toward the end of my term, we had an opportunity to implement that program in Talladega, and it would have been Breakthrough or whatever name we chose, but essentially Breakthrough Talladega, and we couldn't get the funding to make that happen.
So it would have been Breakthrough Talladega instead of Breakthrough Birmingham?
Right. So Birmingham has a program. They would have still had
that one. Okay.
Talladega had a Breakthrough Talladega, and it would have been its own thing, but we couldn't get the council to, which is crazy because why wouldn't you want to invest in school? But that's
all right. Hey, hold on, Drek. I can't hold it. I can't do it. I can't take it anymore. I was holding the question, but I can't take it anymore.
That is Dega Nation, man. Keeping it real.
So in your answer, okay, in your personal opinion, why were you in the council bumping heads so much on things that should have been done?
Can I?
Yeah, I know. You say whatever you want to say. Say whatever you want to say. Whatever you want to say.
I put it in the words of one of the council, in words of the councilwoman. I don't know my place.
Come on. Okay, you gotta say that.
Like,
because
they knew the ideas were good, and I'm not tooting my horn on that. They knew the ideas were good, but it's because of where it came from that they had an issue with. I'll give you another example. We all know how shooting crimes, violent crimes went up in 2020 during the COVID year, right? So I said, hey, we need to get some shot spotter technology so that when a shot is fired, I don't know all the technology behind it, but basically when the shot is fired, it tells the police where the shot was fired within a certain distance, right? This is in early 2020. You can go look it up. Fox and ABC.
This is technology they got going on in Birmingham, right? Anytime there's a shot fired, it pings and let them know exactly where it's coming from. Okay.
Right. Okay. And and it's really fast. It's a cool technology. So I said, hey, we need to do that. We need to invest in some license plate readers. We need to get some cameras around the city. And they're like, nah, we can't afford that. People are literally like, how many people died in 2020?
In that time, yeah.
Finally, in 2021, they're like, well, maybe we should get the shot spotter system. And then they bought it. I'm not sure if it's still operational. But I'm just thinking, like, how many people could have been saved? How many? So that's that's a failure. I think that's something that, because I lost my son in April of last year. And to think about all those parents who
take your time,
excuse me, who lost their kids, man. I can't even, like, that's when I was mayor, those were the things that kept me up at night.
Yeah. Like, that's real though.
People losing their kids, man. And now having gone through it, I just can't even. I can't even imagine.
That's understandable. That's understandable, man. So, what are some things we can do? Is it something the community can do, or what can we do to? I don't know. This class that we keep hearing about that stops things from happening, man. We need some of these things that are brought to the light, and this is for both of y'all to be able to happen in the city, so we can see the city move forward. Can the community do something to help this push, or what needs to change?
I say, show up to your local council means,
yeah,
things can't be, I'm just gonna say it off the record, not just being a city thing. This happened, going through college, time as SJ president. If we want to see change, we have to, have to use your voice. That's one thing that can't nobody take away from you.
Yeah,
is your freedom of speech. So you have to use your voice. You have to let your presence be known that, hey, we're here because we want to see this. And when they start to see community come together, push forth the effort, then that can help make change in your city. Yeah, that's I'm sure Tim can agree with that. As a community, if you got things you want to do, implement them. Got ideas and things, talk to your local council people. Learn who your council person is in your ward. Learn what ward you stay in. Bring it to them. If let's say if that person on list, go on to the next one.
How do people reach out to these people, or Or how do you figure out, when are the city hall meetings or when are the city hall meetings?
City council meetings are every every second and fourth Monday of every month. They start at 5:30 p.m. And you can always find your council's email and contact information on our Talladega website. You want to get in contact with them.
Is there a virtual option?
Yes, virtual. You can watch the council meeting on live stream. To see what businesses they are handling. But if you want to, let's say if you want to be a part of council, get on the agenda for council meeting, you will call the city clerk office and you request to be, get a request form to join be on the council meeting agenda.
Okay.
Drek, what I'm hearing from these guys is the buck does not stop with them. They need the city manager. They need the council. Like everybody got to be on the same page, man. It's not like, well, dang, Mayor, what you got going on? Why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? Well, no, the city manager, the council, and like everybody got to be on the same page. And that's why we've been a lot of things. I ain't gonna say failing. But that's why a lot of things that should have came our way hadn't came our way because we ain't been on the same page. But that's what I'm learning. That's what I'm getting from.
Man, I'm picking the same thing up.
Don't be afraid to call out things as they are. Don't be afraid to call out things they are, man. You see some things you want to see change, speak your mind. You have a right to use your voice. So you see something that that can be better. You think you may got some ways to implement some ways they make it help out the city. Use your voice. Say it. Don't never be afraid.
Don't get fed.
Yeah,
that's it. Like if you got a problem, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. You gotta show up and be vocal, because if not, unfortunately, Mayor Hall won't ignore you, but sometimes the city council will, and that's just the truth.
Going forward,
gotta pull up.
Going forward, you can't keep putting band-aids on wounds. You have to face them head on.
Yeah. And Facebook is cool, but you need to be writing your council number. You need to show up at the council meeting. Because once they put it in the daily home, it's too late then.
Yep.
You hearing about something that's already happened. And it's, you know what I mean? Like you got to be there at the meeting so they can know. Because a lot of times, City Hall is the council chambers are empty except for the people on the council, Mayor Hall, city manager, and city staff. And the city council they just gonna do whatever it is they want to do. But if you show up and they looking out at you, and you looking back at them, and they change. I've seen it happen. They change their mind. Like, and I'm gonna say it. To be quite honest, they have a meeting before the meeting. They already know how they're gonna vote. It's illegal to do it, but they do it. They already know how they're gonna vote when they get in the meeting. But I've seen them. I've seen it with my own eyes. They will change their vote in the face of the community, in the face of Talladega. If there's a packed out room, they're not gonna just do what they want to do. They're gonna listen to the people.
So basically, it need to be somebody to hold them accountable. They're not being held. I see what you're saying. Okay, I'm
not even just that. It almost seems like with it, but it almost seems like you're able to show that the city is holding itself accountable. So when you come into these meetings, you're holding yourself accountable. You're showing some type of intentionality into the city. You're showing that you care. So no, they're not just gonna do what they want to. They start to listen to people because you're actually showing that you care. I get that. Even not saying it's right. Not saying it's right.
No, it's not right at all. But they'll say, "Oh, they don't care." We ain't gonna talk. Like there's been council meeting where people have been killed. We have shootings. We have all of this stuff, and they don't mention it at all. Right? Like the comments are for the council members, the mayor, the city manager, all get comments at the end of the meeting. Nobody will say anything about the shooting, about the people that are killed. The entire hour and a half, 2 hour long meeting until they get to the mayor's portion or the city manager's portion at the end of the meeting. That's crazy.
Yeah. And, and let's not just when we show to the council meeting, let's not just come out when it's going to be something big going to happen. Tim can attest this. When it's going to be some big announcement. We have to be consistent and it comes to these meetings. And I'm just going to say this. The people of the community, you're the boss of the council. They represent you. So you we have to hold the council. You have to hold your council people accountable what they're doing.
You hear this, Dega Nation? Please listen. Please listen.
We shine the light on everything.
The ones who have the voting. Let's be honest on how our government works. They're the ones who have the voting power. Yeah. You know, they decide on certain things, you know, but they also represent us as the community as well. So we have to hold them accountable. If they don't hear anything back from us, then they're going to, you know, continue to do how they see fit without looking at, you know, what does the community actually think? How is it going to affect them?
Yep.
For sure.
Makes sense.
Okay. Well, man, I got a couple more questions before we get into Q&A. First question is, can you, and this is for Ashton, can you kind of talk around the thought process or the decision when it was made to close down Zora Ellis and move Talladega High School to a 7, the 12-year school?
I cannot talk. That's the Talladega City School Board.
Okay.
You know, that's their business. So I cannot, elaborate or add anything on to that decision making why that was made for the city. I was able to go to the meeting that Dr. Lee had, with the community about that close down. And I'm just gonna say this again, when it comes to us showing up for different things, that's another thing that that could, where people can, come, express their thoughts more. That's going back to numbers. But I cannot. I said that's something I cannot speak on. But okay. I went to that meeting. I'm just gonna say this, because not just with the city, not just us. Our numbers can be better in certain things, just so people can be aware of what is going on. But that is a question for the school board and superintendent.
Okay.
Can I add, Drek?
Go ahead.
This is just Tim. I ain't, I'm not elected official anymore. But I will say, I think that was the right decision to close Zora Ellis, and it probably should have happened when I was in Zora Ellis in 07. Like, that school was old as crap then. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but that's, I think that was the right decision. I don't know all the reasons outside of that went into it. Yeah. But I do think it's the right decision. And plus, we're losing a whole bunch of students. And we have to, you got to be fiscally responsible and spending money you throwing money in a pit with a school that old. Like, I mean, that's just citizens, Tim. That ain't,
And for those are separate entities from school board and city. Those are two separate.
Okay.
Anything the school board decides on, that's nothing that falls back on mayor, city council, city manager. That's solely on them.
For sure. For sure.
Drek, from my understanding, Zora Ellis was, like Tim said, it was in pretty bad shape. Like, it needed to be. You get a lot of push. We got a lot of pushback from that, but it needed to be done.
I can imagine. Yeah. In your opinion, Ashton, is it going well? Is Talladega, the high school, able to, hold or do what it needs to do to be able to be a 7 through 12-year school? In your opinion?
Yes, they are under great leadership. Anytime I get to shout out, my mentor, my guy, Marvin Moten, he's doing some amazing things up there at Talladega High School. Him, his administration, but. As far as it going over to that, that's something I can't speak on that. But let's just say they're under they're under good leadership. I would just say that.
Good, great. Go ahead, BJ. How you been it out?
So I read a lot of the comments on Facebook too, and I just kind of laughed because I didn't want to, I don't feel like tussling with everybody on Facebook, but. When I came to Talladega, y'all, my 9th grade year, Talladega was big 6A, and there was no 7A school then. Talladega housed, y'all, close to 700 students back then. The building ain't changed, y'all. It's the same building. So I was seeing a lot of people asking the question, well, are they going to be the hard on kids? Absolutely. Like, this is what I'm saying. From the front office to the bottom of the hill, every parking lot was filled, y'all, when I came to high school. So housing was not an issue. Now I know they would separate them. From my understanding, they said they're going to be separated, but housing them is not an issue. Talladega was had over 700 students in a school, so they can definitely hold them. They can definitely hold them. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, man. I think it's big. Well, no, I got one more question for you, Ashton. Before we get into Q&A, before we jump to the Q&A, Ashton, what is your future? What is your future? What is your overall vision for Talladega? What do you see Talladega going from here moving forward?
I see us going bigger. You know, I always hear the people talking about, you know, oh man, we used to have this store here, this used to be here, this company here. You know, as we're going along, you know, throughout our next days, you know, as we're, you know, changing the atmosphere, you know, trying to build the community morale. You know, I see us going back to, you know, how they, you know, those days, you know, how they say, you know, used to have, you know, this place to go to, this place to go to. I see that in our future, you know. I believe that for our future, you know, that's, you know, going back to, you know, being able to think positive, you know, for our city. You know, of course, you know, we know we're a small town, you know, we have our, you know, little area, you know, and we are doing amazing with what, you know, we are capable to do here in our city, you know, with our numbers, you know, what we have here. But, you know, I do see us growing. I do see us getting a lot more attractions down here in the city of Talladega. You know, it's just a matter of time, you know. Things can happen at a snap of a finger how we want to. You know, it takes time to implement new things. It takes time for things to, you know, start, you know, for business to come down here, you know, get situated. So I see us in the future.
For sure. Cool. That's great, man. Like you say, Rome wasn't built in a day, man. So it takes time. I personally believe and I trust that you guys are doing what's needed, you know, to help push us in that direction. And I pray that we really get there. Before we jump into a Q&A, we're going to take a quick break. We want to do a big announcement, man. We got something big for y'all coming up next week. Something big coming up for y'all next week. BJ.
Yeah.
Talk to him about it.
Okay. So, y'all know how else to say it, y'all. Y'all see the screen. Look at the screen right now. The people been asking for it, so it's coming next Wednesday. So here's the question you need to be asking everybody. I'm talking about Talladega, Mumford, Sylacauga, Fayetteville, Seaburg, Lincoln, BB Comer, Winterboro. Yes, TC is still included. This is 35 years. Over 35 years worth of football history in the county. The question is, are you going to make the list?
Will you make the list?
Will you make the list? Top 25 football players to come through the county. Ooh. Are you going to make the list?
Do you think
I mean, every school.
Do you think they understand how tough that is, though?
Listen to me. I need every school represented on this stream next Wednesday because I'm dropping the names with the resume and I don't miss.
Hey, he don't miss. He right. Hey, matter of fact, Dega Nation right now, if you see your school on this flyer, man, let's drop your school in the chat. Whatever school you went to, whatever school
I don't miss.
Drop the school in the chat. For sure. But hey, we got something big for y'all next week, man. You see special guests. We got Josh Taylor.
Oh, I didn't even. Oh my God, I'm sorry, Drew. I didn't even say the special guest. I'm sorry. I didn't even say the special guest.
Big
Josh Taylor.
Sure.
Josh Taylor, Winterboro legend. Hey, Kelsey Polk, receiver coach for the University of Tennessee. Y'all, we're not playing. We're not playing with these people. This is Dega Nation. We reaching out. People want to be on the show. Yes, y'all. And Kelsey was an all-world player in Sylacauga. Collegiate coach right now. This coach players in the NFL. Y'all, this big. Next week, ooh, I ain't gonna say nothing else. Tune in.
Hey, will you make the list? Yes, sir. Hey, so let's go ahead and jump to it, man. Like I told the chat, we aren't ignoring y'all. We want to let you guys ask some questions. So, you know, shoot away. I'm gonna go through the messages right now, see some of these other questions that they have been typed. Go ahead.
Ooh, can I ask a question first? Can I ask a question first?
Ask question.
Okay. And I don't know if you know the answer to this, but what happened to the golf course, man? I heard all kinds of things about. Wait, when I say that, Tim, like this.
Now, which one? You know, we got two golf courses, so I can tell you what. So of course,
you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Don't do that. We can do that.
Right, but hold on. I do want to comment on what the project that they're going out that's going on at Timber Ridge at the moment. For those not aware, you know, Timber Ridge is underway development. That land will be turned into 200. A project that is in the works now. They're still getting things finalized and all that, but the plan goal is to have 200 new homes built on the Timber Ridge golf course.
Wow. When we say Timber Ridge, can you make sure we know where that's located?
Say it again now.
Timber Ridge. Where's the Timber Ridge?
Ridge is
like you going to the high school, like the bread store?
Yeah.
The dead still on the right, you take that left, and it's yeah.
So I can't speak no more, but I do know that is a project that is underway. You know, they're still getting things finalized.
Oh wow.
When it comes to the other golf course that you are referring to, you know, I think plans still in the works for that.
But what was the plans? Like I heard different things. You know,
never know. You know, that's out of my. You know, I can never say. You know what the actual plan will be. You know, of course, you know, if I'm not aware, you know, I can't. If I'm not aware of the plans, you know, I just don't want to come out the blue and say, "Oh, this is gonna happen." You know, that's just something I can't do. But you know, hopefully, you know, we can get that place, you know, back up and running. You know, hope because the college can, you know, possibly benefit from by having a golf team. You know, our community definitely, you know, would love to have it back up and running. So, you know, hopefully, good things will come to that golf course. You know, being able to get back up and running. I don't know if Tim may have something you want to share on that. But.
Nah, I ain't gonna say no. So during my administration, Shaq and his team purchased the golf course.
I heard it, Drek. That's what I heard. I heard it.
Well, I want him to come now.
That was our former city manager had a connection to his team and made that happen. Now, since the council decided to fire him, I don't know.
Man, I'm about to get my frat brother on the call. Man. I'm about to get my frat brother check on the phone, man.
But and you know, shout out to city manager Hill, man. He was good.
Yeah,
he was good.
That's frat brother too.
Yeah, he the project Mayor Hall was talking about, right? Mayor Hall was talking about at Timber Ridge was something that he started as well, and now they're, you know, Mayor Hall and new city manager taking that to the finish line. But that was part of the plan to make Talladega a more attractive place for businesses. We got 200 home ownership is so important, y'all. The idea was, and I don't know what it is now, at the time that during my tenure, the idea was those homes will be affordable homes so that we could move people out of the projects and put them in homes that they could afford. They can build, you know, they can pay a little bit, build some equity into and sell and start having generational wealth. Again, now I don't know what the new plan, if there are new plans, if that's changed, I can't speak to that. Another thing, BJ, you talked about something I'm proud of that I didn't think of at the time, but I thought about. We were able to get funding for AIDB to build tiny homes for graduates of AIDB who wanted to stay in Talladega and work at the industries, right? So the issue was that they were graduating and, you know, like they wanted to have a job, right? Like that's a AIDB industry. I don't know if y'all know about it, if people know about it, but it's huge, man. They make a whole bunch of things. Like they make all the ties for every branch of the military. They do a whole paper products, man. They do a whole lot. They do t-shirts and screen printing, a whole lot of things that they do, and they have a big factory that they do it out of. So people would graduate and they would want to stay in the city and continue to work, but they didn't have anywhere that was accessible, like Mayor Hall talked about, or that was ADA compliant. And sometime, unfortunately, they were taken advantage of by some landlords. And so AIDB, along with the Presbyterian home, the homes are at the Presbyterian home property, came up with an idea, and they built a couple of tiny homes and put people in them. And so I was able to push the council to fund several more tiny homes. And so they're really cool. They you know, give people a sense of independence, right? Everybody wants their own home to live in. And so that is something that I'm proud of.
Oh man, that's huge. That's huge, man. Yeah. You talk about retention. You talk about putting someone through our school process or whatnot, AIDB, going through that, getting educated, and then also staying in the community, working in the community. That's big. That's big.
Hey, both of those are huge, bro. Tiny homes, and then Ashton talking about 200 homes being built. That's a major bomb. Like, I ain't expecting them to drop that.
For sure.
Yeah, that's big.
That's big.
That's big, man.
We said Tim Ragland.
I ain't expecting them to say that, bro. I ain't expecting to say that. Okay.
We used to have a JRTC military ball out there back in the day.
Yeah, I know what Tim. Yeah. We had our class reunion at Tim Reed's.
Yeah.
You know what? We did have. I think I did go out there to.
No, Drake.
No,
You
military
never
ball.
been there. Don't do that.
Military
Don't
ball.
do that. No,
I ain't have a military ball out there around about my time. Too.
Yeah.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Sergeant Tatum.
If you go out there,
Yeah, Sergeant Tatum, boy.
Yeah, Sergeant Tatum, kind of highly. I think so. Because I don't know what building that I was at. I just remember the building.
Yeah. Got to drive down that long road to get out there.
Long road, boy. Yeah.
Okay.
Drake, I know you want to get to the chat. Chat got some good stuff. So.
And one more thing, if you go out there now to Timber Ridge, they'll be out there. You can actually go in and see the different model type homes that they're planning to build out there. How they're going to structure them, the different appliances they're going to have when they actually get to that moment where they can start constructing. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
That's good, man. Y'all hear this community? Y'all hear this? Go check that out. Timber Ridge. You looking for a home? You think about being a homeowner? Hey, they doing some big things over there. Big things. So we do want to address the chat. We want to address, and we kind of answered this question a little bit, talking about the golf course. But there's also a mention of Eastside Head Start. But I don't know if that's another thing, to do with the city board versus the school board or whatnot. But can anyone answer to this? So what's going on with Eastside Head Start and maybe the golf course, different things like that.
I know that was a part of that, past agreement. But like I said, as I stated earlier, when it comes to whatever plans they have, I'm not aware of anything to comment on what the plans are for those two areas. But I'm sure it's going to be something good. It's going to come out of them, in the next, in our next, years to come. So I tell a lot of people, just be patient, with a lot of changes going on. You're going to tackle, 1-2 things at a time. But I think those are two of the main things that we do want to get back. The city wants to get back up and running, so they can be able to thrive, help out in their communities. So.
Gotcha. We got another one right here, man. Is Upper Brown coming back?
That's Talladega College. That's something we can't answer. We can't give an answer to that one. That's so.
I ain't know it was gone.
Yeah. And I did have a chance to be overbound counselor, so I got to see what that was like. But that is a question for college administration. So, yeah.
For sure. And I'm just going through the chat right now trying to see if there are any more questions.
I did see what Mr. Chris he asked earlier about the form of government. I think switching.
Ooh, can I answer that one?
Which one? Demographics.
Which one? He said, "How can we return executive power to the mayor and out of the city manager's hand?" I'm just gonna go and give you my split. That takes the form of government change. It requires a petition from the community. That's just not something that I, in my position, or that can just go and change. And then our local legislators will have to vote on that. Of course, everybody know things happened in the past while we did switch over to the form of government that we are in now. But that is something that will take and after the community and like I said, our local legislators will have to vote on that act as well to happen. But Tim, you got something you may want to.
Yeah, no, that's it. City council will have to pass a ordinance. After the city council passes, it will go to the state legislature. The state legislature will vote, and then it will have to go to a general election where the whole state get to vote. Now I'll say this: when our former city manager Beth Cheeks passed away in 2019, I think it was early 2020. I petitioned the council to change the form of government at that time because we did not have a city manager because our city manager passed away. They weren't interested in doing that. And I mean, I'll let y'all guess why. But we have had, it's almost, you can almost clock it, almost two to 3 years, the council fires the city manager every time. We've had at least 5 or 6, no more, I'd say less than 7. and this has been around since 2000. How long have we had a city manager? Since 2000, the early 2000s.
The early 2000s.
Yeah. And the thing is, the city manager reports to the council.
Yeah.
And so if the mayor is the chief executive of the city, they lose a lot of control. And so they don't like that. They want to be able to control what the person, because if if somebody has the power to fire you whenever they choose, you go do what you can to make them happy, right? And so that's a power that they hold over the city manager. The city manager is not now there are some rules that are in place to kind of prevent the city council from doing let me rephrase. There's supposed to be some rules in place to prevent the city council from exerting too much power on the city manager. Those in Talladega, in my experience, have not been followed. Again, that's another conversation for another day. But it is beyond time to restore executive power to the mayor's office because there's too much turnover. There's entirely too much turnover. You can't build anything when you're changing the head every 2 years. And there's a whole new agenda that comes in. There's a whole new plan. You're firing people. People are quitting. You can't build anything like that. So you have to have some stability in place in order to build. So hopefully we'll be able to have some stability. If not, give Mayor Hall some power.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you for that. All right. So next question. Is the city demographic of our population, is it still 50% plus Black, or do we know those metrics?
At the last census, it was, I want to say, around 53% Black.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. It's still pretty close, though. It's still pretty close.
Yeah, it's close.
Good. Got a good amount of diversity there.
Okay.
Let's see, man. Chat, pop your questions in. If y'all got any questions y'all want to ask the mayors, jump in and ask your questions now. Excuse me. We're getting ready to end here pretty soon, so if you got any questions, go ahead and ask them. If not, then we're going to get ready to wrap this thing up here pretty soon.
So Tim, how many city managers have you worked with when you were in office?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
3?
One of them was interim.
Did you? So you did catch Cedric Hill, though, right? When you with Cedric Hill, so you would say, I guess I don't even know the other two. I don't think I do.
So when I started, it was Beth Cheeks. She passed away.
Okay.
There was an interim city manager, and then Cedric was hired.
And then Cedric. And Cedric only did 2 years?
Yeah.
We're basically on the same thing. He had 3. I had 3. I came in with Mr. Hill, and went to Chief Ward, who serves as our interim. Now we have Mr. Swanson, who is our new city.
Okay.
3 and
I
8
would
months
assume
is
that
crazy.
that's not a good pattern, right?
No,
Yeah.
not at all. So this is what they do. They'll hire somebody thinking like, oh, we're gonna be able to control this person, and then they like, oh, well, no, we can't really control them. Like, we got to get rid of them. Somebody put in the track, Brian Munger. He's the city manager in Pell City now. Look how Pell City is exploding.
Hey, Pell City doing it right now.
You have to have stability to build. You can't build by changing. You like how you gonna build? How you gonna build if you changing the plan every 2 years? It don't work like that.
We need stability and vision too.
Right.
And I think Cedric Hill had a lot of vision, bro. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but I heard the man had a lot of vision. I don't know. I ain't gonna get in that.
100%.
Yeah, man. 100%. I was like, why would y'all give it anyway?
Yeah, man. It seems like we need to have I don't know, because it seems like if you're able to keep this team together, almost like a team. If you're able to keep a team together from 9th grade all the way through 12th grade, man, ain't no telling what that team.
You're gonna win. You're gonna win, bro.
You're gonna win. So it's like we need to build our teams out, man, and just let them grow that camaraderie together. I don't know, man. It's something definitely got to change. Something to
think about, though. Yeah, it's something we need to know.
Let's see. I saw a good question came out. So Chris Sanders says, congratulations on the new 200 affordable homes. During the construction period, can we place a proclamation in place to ensure a large percentage of the contracts go to local contractors? And that's for either Tim or Ashton.
So,
well, I guess there would be
doable. Is that doable?
Is it doable?
So that's already somewhat in place. The purchasing process kind of gives. What word do I want to use? You get a higher ranking if you're local when you're going through the purchasing process. So
there's a state bid law that the city must follow when it comes to that.
I see some here. It says that the company that bought Timber Ridge is a construction company, but they're looking to hire. So anybody there looking for jobs, man, it's a construction company out there building homes in Talladega.
Okay.
Let's see. All right, man, you guys get a lot of kudos in the chat.
For those, you do have to qualify to be eligible to be for those. So
got to have insurance, business license, bonded, all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So someone asks, what exactly is the mayor's job?
People don't know. Some people don't know.
You want me to
go? You want me to
go ahead? All right. Well, okay. We got two different approaches to it. On paper, the job is ceremonial, to cut ribbons, to swear people in. I took a different approach to that. I did those things, but I was also used my influence to try to make some changes that I thought were necessary. Sometimes that people didn't like that, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So that's why you need to stay in your place.
Right. Yeah.
So I did want to see what Tim was going to say, which is right, but it is what you make it.
Right.
You don't have to, just because you have those certain things written down on paper, you can still do a lot in your community, in your position. The term of mayor, that just not the glowing thing, that just hold power itself. But it's a lot of influence that you have in that position. So it just depends on what you want to do with that, how you want to make it. How can you progress in that? How can you succeed in that? How can you get out there and work hard, give back, to your community with that.
Gotcha.
Good question.
Okay. This is from Roger Seals. Any plans for the new police chief? Any new plans for the new police chief? And is that something you can answer right now?
That is something that I don't have any knowledge to give an answer on that. But I just say, big thanks. Grateful to have Chief Diane Thomas here in our city. She has done a lot of amazing things here in the city of Talladega when it comes to, our crimes, our shooting, in the uniforms, trying to build, the morale of the police department, just trying to, change how things going. She has done a lot. She has not only just made history here, but she has implemented a lot of things here. We are grateful that she was a part, and she's still going to be a part, of our city here in Talladega.
Yeah. Shout out to Chief Thomas.
Yes.
Shout out. Okay. This is from Antoine Chapman. I think this will be one of the last questions that we take from the chat. I think I got one more closing question before we wrap it up for today. But Tim, are you willing to share your future plans? What's next for Mr. Ragland? It's from Antoine Chapman.
I took a step away from politics to just kind of honestly to get my mental health right. I didn't want to serve in the place that I was in. I'm much better now. But I was, I'm going to say that I was very much depressed and just had a lot of things going on mentally. Again, I'm in a much better place now. So I just want to say, if you're in there, get some therapy, man. Like it helps a lot. But I am interested in serving in the political arena again. So any opportunity that I have to do that in the future, I'll be looking to get back into politics at some point in the future.
Okay.
Good, man. That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Good question. Good question.
Definitely good to hear. Good question. And thank you, Dega Nation, for all y'all questions, man. We definitely appreciate you guys for being so interactive with us today. Thank you to Tim, Mayor Tim Ragland, the first mayor of Talladega, Alabama, man. Thank you so much, bro. You mean so much to the community, bro. We want to give you flowers, man. We want to make sure you understand that, bro. We really do.
Appreciate that.
We really do. Mayor Ashton Hall, good job with everything you're doing so far, man. You know, we're praying that everything continues to go great for you in your future with your time here. And more terms or whatever your plans is, man. We just pray for success with everything you're doing. You know, we're excited for Talladega. Thank you for everything that you guys have going on, man. Thank y'all for coming on Dega Nation Live.
Hey, shout out to Drek, man, for coming out the shadow from behind the computer. Hey, take heed, you fired. You fired. Drek, the new host.
I ain't playing with it either.
You hear me here live from Ashton and Evan Sparks taking over. I'm sorry. Stay focused.
Do you think? Nah, man.
Nah, just shout. Hey, appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for coming on, because y'all said a lot of things, man, that honestly, y'all, we don't know as a city. Maybe because we don't attend the meetings like we should. But a lot of stuff y'all said, we honestly didn't know. We always got questions, but don't know the answer. You know what I'm saying? So I thank y'all for coming on and really shedding light. And I really hope people go back and watch this, because y'all really dropped a lot of bombs for real, like we didn't know. So good stuff, great stuff, man. Great stuff.
Appreciate y'all having me, man.
They telling Tim to go live and do his own thing.
Go live.
They want Tim to keep talking.
I'm talking too much.
Last question.
Y'all did the real, like keep it real.
Keep it real, man. One of our goals here on Dega Nation Live is to give flowers to people, but we also want to have that good barbershop talk, man. We want to have that
real talk
conversations that we're already having amongst each other, but we never had with the community. So when they were to do this together with the community, man, we could do so much more. So we appreciate y'all. We appreciate everything y'all brought for the conversations. I got one last question though. Have you guys been paying attention to the top 10s at all? What do y'all feel about them?
Don't lie. No, they haven't. No, they haven't.
No, I was there.
I asked both of them. They told me.
Yeah, nah. I mean, I gotta say, BJ don't miss, man. Like, you know, especially with basketball, man. Like, I was like, dang, I ain't even heard of some of these folks. Like, you went in the vault.
Yeah. Hey, but like you said, man, it's about content. I stand on my content, right? I can't just come out here and just spew anything. I'll lose credibility. You know what I'm saying? So when I put a list out there, just know I've been in the field. I've been doing research. I ain't just throwing out random names, y'all. I've been in the vault.
Hey,
next Wednesday.
They say Mayor 10 was an athlete. They say Mayor 10 was an athlete. I see some football.
I was on the team, man. I was on the team.
What team? What team?
Football.
I was on the team. I ain't say name. I ain't played. I was on
which team? What team?
Football.
And so I need to add them to the top team.
No.
Do I need to make it? Wait. Do I need to make it a division?
Honorable mention. All
right. Okay.
I appreciate that.
For sure. Well, man, like I say, man, thank y'all for coming on the show. I appreciate it. Thank you, Dega Nation, for another great episode of Dega Nation Live. Stay tuned to us, man. We're here every Wednesday, 8 p.m. We got something big for y'all next week.
We dropping the flyer, y'all, tomorrow. I'm dropping the flyer tomorrow by next week's show. I need the whole county on that.
We dropping the flyer. As soon as this episode over, the flyer.
It's going down. Tune in next week, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Dega Nation Live.
So special.
If you're talking about the next crew, guess who? Yes, sir. Drek, Tay, and BJ. Yes, you. Next up, represent for Dega Nation Live. What the best watch do? Watch the podcast go nationwide. I gon' bless you. They locked in. Let's break down the best ballers in the county. Name your top 10, top 25. BJ breaking down all these stats with facts who fine. If you thought that you was new, but them not facts, not that you lied. They talking about nothing but the GOATs in this conversation. Wasn't the greatest on 18, then in this conversation. Giving out honorable mentions all around Dega Nation and giving out flowers and doing some real debating. Like take heed, the best all around athlete that I ever seen. I'm the best all around rapper, others after me. I feel like Bookie Wilson when I'm running, you can't tackle me. I told them people, Dega Nation coming, join the winning team. No cap, we ball around here. No cap, some dogs around here. I'm talking about Ben Ben, living legends all around here. The best we done saw around here. So welcome to Dega Nation live.